He wasn't just the king of pop, he was a global phenomenon. But who really was Michael Jackson? And how did he moonwalk through the highs and lows of history? This is the story of how one man changed music, dance, and the world forever. Gary, Indiana, where legends begin. In the heartland of America, within a modest working-class family, a star was quietly igniting. Michael Jackson's childhood was steeped in music, but also in discipline. His father, Joseph Jackson, recognized the extraordinary talent burgeoning within his sons and formed the Jackson 5. This was no ordinary family band. It was a crucible, forging raw talent into polished performance. Their journey led them from local talent shows to the hallowed halls of Motown Records, where Berry Gordy saw the diamond in the rough. Their first television appearances were electrifying. Audiences were captivated not just by the group's harmonious vocals and synchronized steps, but by the miniature dynamo at its center. Young Michael, even then at the tender age of 5, his voice possessed a maturity beyond his years, his dance moves an intuitive grace that seemed almost otherworldly. People who witnessed him then often remarked he was something different, something special. The spark was undeniable, a precocious talent that hinted at the monumental career to come. What drives a child prodigy to such heights of greatness, to become a defining figure like Michael Jackson? And more poignantly, what does it cost when a childhood is spent under the relentless spotlight chasing a dream that is as demanding as it is dazzling? Breakaway. The Jackson 5's triumph launched Michael into the global spotlight. For an artist of his growing individualism and infinite imagination, the group dynamic, albeit successful, became a lovely prison. Michael Jackson needed to shine and pursue his complete artistic vision. His 1979 solo adult album, Off the Wall, was a confident move towards superstardom. Michael collaborated with Quincy Jones to create a sophisticated danceable disco, R&B, and pop album. Songs like Don't Stop Till You Get Enough and Rock With You introduced a mature, engaging solo artist. His voice, style, and image changed. His cherubic afro faded, his voice deepened, and his dance steps got more sophisticated. The Billie Jean and Beat It era of the Thriller album changed music and pop culture. Billie Jean's bass line and Beat It's gritty rock edge with Eddie Van Halen's guitar solo were anthems. At the Motown 25 television special on March 25th, 1983, Michael Jackson sang Billie Jean. He performed the moonwalk mid-performance. The world was captivated. It was a cultural phenomenon linked with his name, not just a dancing routine. Fame, especially this elevated fame, costs, forever changing the game. A global coronation thriller, published in 1982, followed Off the Wall's proclamation of freedom. This album changed music history. It broke sales records by spending 37 weeks at #1 on the Billboard charts and becoming the best-selling album ever. It dominated the Grammy Awards that year, with Michael Jackson winning a record 8 awards. Thriller revolutionized the game, not simply sold records. Michael's innovative style turned music videos into cinematic short films. John Landis's 14-minute horror epic Thriller was a breakthrough work of storytelling, choreography, and special effects. It became a cultural highlight, anticipated and repeated. His innovative videos Billie Jean, with its Midas touch gleaming pavement, and Beat It, with competing gangs uniting via dance, solidified his fame. These were art pieces, not merely song accompaniments. His impact was felt throughout pop culture. Michael Jackson's videos made MTV a cultural force while it was a young cable station. Single sequined gloves, military jackets, and fedoras became fashion fads to replicate his style. He influenced a generation of dancers with his fluid, precise choreography. Global superstardom was unparalleled. Millions of screaming fans flocked to his concerts across continents. He became more visible through endorsements like Pepsi's pioneering relationship. The King of Pop was a fact, not a title. At his height, no one was more famous. Despite this unprecedented praise, tiny changes were occurring. Fame, pressure, and transformation. The blinding glare of global superstardom cast long, often distorted shadows. As Michael Jackson's fame reached stratospheric heights, the man behind the meticulously crafted image became an increasing subject of intense public scrutiny and speculation. His changing appearance became a constant source of fascination and often cruel conjecture. Michael himself attributed his lightening skin to vitiligo, a condition causing loss of pigmentation and lupus. He also admitted to undergoing cosmetic surgeries, but the extent and reasons became fodder for a relentless tabloid frenzy. Rumors, often bizarre and unsubstantiated, swirled around him, painting a picture of an eccentric recluse. The media narrative, eager for sensationalism, increasingly veered towards the Wacko Jacko caricature, a moniker that deeply wounded the sensitive artist. This depiction often overshadowed the real Michael, a complex individual grappling with immense pressures. In an attempt to create a sanctuary, a world of his own away from the prying eyes, he built Neverland Ranch in California. This sprawling estate, with its amusement park rides, zoo, and movie theater, was envisioned as a haven of childhood innocence and joy, not just for himself, but also for underprivileged and terminally ill children whom he frequently invited. It was his refuge, but in time, Neverland would also become symbolic of his isolation and later the site of intense legal and public scrutiny, transforming from a dreamscape into a gilded prison. Beneath the surface of the global icon was a man wrestling with profound loneliness, a consequence perhaps of a childhood lost to the demands of his prodigious talent. His well-documented Peter Pan complex, a desire to recapture a lost youth, was both a source of his creative whimsy and a point of vulnerability. He just wanted to give sick kids a magical place, a brief escape from their own harsh realities, a sentiment often lost in the noise of the media circus. The world turns. Michael Jackson's career was tested by child sexual assault claims in 1993. After hailing him as the king of pop, the world faced troubling claims against him. Global media covered the legal battles. Public opinion polarized. Some faithful admirers believed in his innocence, while others felt misled and disillusioned. Jackson was personally and professionally drained by the lengthy court proceedings. He defended his innocence with music and interviews. He sang Scream, a fierce duet with his sister Janet, and Leave Me Alone to defy the media and witch hunt. Michael Jackson faced a second, more high-profile trial on similar accusations in 2005. Acquitted on all counts after months of trial drama broadcast worldwide, legal exoneration but severe emotional and reputational damage followed the verdict. Presenting a balanced story is vital during this time. Allegations, investigations, and trials led to acquittals. The effect on Michael Jackson's mind, career, and image was permanent. He became more reclusive and exhausted after the event. What happens when the world, which once elevated its hero, now turns against him so strongly? Michael Jackson suffered publicly. Michael Jackson had major challenges after the trials. Once the world's most famous man, the king of pop, isolated himself. Musical successes were replaced by murmurs of instability due to the financial toll of legal disputes. His drive to create and perform lingered. The world was shocked when Michael Jackson announced a massive comeback in March 2009. The 50 gigs at London's O2 Arena were billed as "This Is It," his ultimate farewell. Global excitement soared. Due to his popularity and public demand to see him perform one last time, tickets sold out in minutes. MJ's previous self was glimpsed in rehearsal footage. He directed musicians, perfected dancing techniques, and still had that powerful, delicate voice. Though slimmer and possibly more delicate, genius shone through. He diligently prepared to deliver his followers a final masterpiece they would never forget. The world held its breath for a legend's return. But then, the unthinkable. Michael Jackson died on June 25, 2009, weeks before the debut concert. Shock and disbelief spread worldwide. The comeback that promised a spectacular finale was preempted. The globe mourned unprecedentedly. Artists, world leaders, and millions of grieving fans paid tribute worldwide. His music was ubiquitous, a soundtrack to the collective anguish, now poignant. The world struggled to understand the untimely death of the king of pop. Gone but everywhere. Michael Jackson died in 2009, yet his art and culture live on. He is gone but still present. His legacy in music, dance, and entertainment is enormous. Beyonce, Usher, The Weeknd, and even BTS openly credit Michael Jackson for inspiring them with their vocals, dance moves like the Moonwalk, and ambitious performance style. His accomplishments are amazing. Guinness World Records calls him the most successful entertainer ever due to his sales, honors, and global impact. Despite the spotlight, his altruism was important. Heal the World and We Are the World raised millions for humanitarian causes as well as becoming hits. His music production and music video innovations set new standards that are still pursued. He is remembered by a global network of fans that celebrate his birthday, analyze his art, and teach new generations. Of course, his place in history is debated, especially how to divorce monumental art from the artist's difficult life. Society and prominent personalities continue the conversation. His art remains powerful despite its complexity. His music, dance skills, and appearance are still iconic. Legends continue to influence and inspire. Michael Jackson's legacy proves it. Moonwalker forever. Michael Jackson danced and defied gravity. He transformed a generation's sound, not merely sang. He rose from Gary, Indiana, to global superstardom in a brilliant, complicated, and human story. He created the Moonwalk, Thriller, an era-defining soundtrack. He was the unquestioned king of pop, a sensation that moonwalked through history and left an everlasting impression. Share this touching story. Share who moonwalked through history with future generations. Share your favorite MJ moment and subscribe for more legends.